When you embody true awareness, you begin to see that the hurt others cause speaks more about them than it does about you. Hi, I'm Sharvari. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to be changing the background a lot in this video, so just bear with me. When we embody true awareness, you begin to see that the hurt others cause speaks more about them than it does about you. Because you are not the things people say to you. You are how you choose to respond. You are not what others tell you to feel. You are what emotions you allow yourself to feel. You are what flows from within you. Your job is to allow yourself to be who you are without fearing anyone. It's so important to be aware when you're interacting with people, to be aware of who you are being when you feel hurt by something someone said or did. Because how long are you going to sit there thinking, oh, the person did what they did just to hurt me? All I can say is the person who wronged you, the person who hurt you, that is just who they choose to be. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with you. That defines them. Those are the actions they chose and the words they chose. And that speaks a lot about them than it does about you. Whatever people say, never let that define who you are. In fact, whatever people say defines exactly who they are. The way they choose to act, the words they choose to speak, all these things in other people's behavior towards you can tell you a lot about these people beforehand. Always pay very close attention to these things. Be so aware of who people around you are choosing to be. And you might just be able to differentiate people very quickly. You might just be able to tell what people to seek connection from, what people to keep, and what people to let go of, what people to cut out. I'm chasing the sun, that's what I'm doing. That's why it's all changing. Bear with me. When someone triggers something in you, your partner, your mom, your siblings, and a wave of strong, overpowering feelings overcome you, and you instantly react in the same tone you always have. Your body tightens the same way, you raise your voice, you feel that familiar rush of heat, that mix of anger and frustration and helplessness. And before you even realize it, you're in the same argument, the same cycle, the same energy where no one gets heard and it goes nowhere. The conversation literally goes nowhere. You repeat the same patterns not because you want to, but because that's all your body remembers. Your body remembers it. It's your nervous system trying to protect you because that's the only way it knows how. But the truth is, it's not protecting you anymore. It's keeping you stuck. That's why being aware of your own being is everything. Because the moment you see your own patterns, you have a chance to choose differently. And I'll tell you, here's the trick that has literally changed my life and my relationship with everyone around me, which is learn to pause before you react, especially in your vulnerable moments, because that tiny pause, it has helped me so much, especially during disagreement or when my emotions and my old wounds would get triggered. I would get defensive so fast. I would say things I didn't mean and then regret it all later. It used to literally feel like my nervous system was taking over, like my consciousness wasn't even present. It was like my body was reacting from old memories and old wounds and old defenses. That's exactly what happens when you get triggered. Your body remembers before your mind does. So, in this journey of being aware of my own being and being mindful of everyone around me, I've learned that when you cannot be a safe space for yourself, you cannot provide a safe space for the other person. When you get triggered, and instead of reacting right away, when you choose to pause, that pause is you giving yourself a safe space, a moment to breathe, to slow down, and to resist the urge to be pulled back into your old patterns that you know won't help. That pause is where you choose to create space to respond with kindness, not just towards yourself, but towards the other person as well, because you deserve it and they deserve it. to just take a moment to yourself, even just a few seconds, to ask yourself, what can I do differently so that both of us can feel heard? In this moment, how can I communicate my feelings effectively? That time you use to yourself to tell yourself, I need to slow down and really listen and understand what inside of you is triggering you. You sort of bring your awareness back into your body to be able to understand your own emotions, to be able to acknowledge what you're feeling, and then to understand what you're doing right now, how is it affecting the other person? How is it making them feel? Because a conversation is a two-way road. Because it takes true strength and true awareness to respond, to witness what is happening without letting your old defenses control you. That time, that pause that you take to yourself, that is your chance to stop repeating old patterns. And that was the hardest thing to learn in my life. My entire body would literally shiver from holding back the urge to get defensive, from fighting the urge to raise my voice when it wasn't necessary, because that reaction was so deeply programmed into my subconscious that it took all my energy to change those patterns. But it's the best thing that ever happened to me. It brought me closer to myself. It gave me a chance to heal a version of me who didn't feel seen or heard as a child. And it gave me the ability to accept people for who they are, to pause and realize that everyone has a different perspective, and that's okay. Everyone has gone through something, everyone has had different experiences, everyone has different defenses to protect themselves. That's the point of people. People are people are people are people. This is who this person is. These are their values and beliefs, and it is not my responsibility to change them. And I do not need to argue and make them understand my point of view. And when you realize how much awareness the other person has, when you realize that this person that I'm speaking to is not capable of understanding where you stand and does not want to understand where you stand because they're in survival, I tell myself I do not need to argue or make them understand my point of view. I can simply disagree in silence, accept this person for who they choose to be, protect my peace, and save my energy. That time that I took to myself, it gave me the power to find clarity in my responses. And it changed my relationships with everyone, my mom, my friends, everyone around me. Which is the point. People are people. You just let them be. You do the right things that you need to do for yourself. Your job is to be aware of your existence. And let me tell you this, when you're mindful of the fact that your responsibility towards you in life is how you think and act and feel, when you're in tune with your own thoughts and your own feelings, and you choose your actions mindfully, you eventually stop trying to control how others act. You slowly start to embody the fact that other people's behavior towards you has nothing to do with you. It's a mirror of their unhealed parts, their thoughts, and their fears. You'll stop needing people to change for you, and you'll stop trying to prove your worth to someone who maybe can't even see their own. The peace you get from knowing yourself, it is everything. And I mean everything. Because the truth is, when people hurt you, most of the times they don't even realize they've hurt you. They think it's normal. Their behaviors, their words, their reactions are so deeply embedded in who they are, in what they've seen and learned. To them, it feels right. It feels normal. Most of the times they're not consciously thinking, oh, I'm gonna hurt this person on purpose. They are also acting from their subconscious, from their old wounds, from their old patterns, from their old defenses, and their old ways of protecting themselves. People hurt you when they're in survival mode, when they're living in that mindset of, I need to protect myself, my ego, my pride, my comfort, my sense of control, even if that means hurting someone else in the process. Sometimes they're so consumed trying to survive that sadly their mind doesn't even reach the part where they think, am I hurting someone, without realizing it. They don't see it. because in their world, they're not the villain. They're just trying to survive. And this is what I want you to realize, that healing doesn't come from changing people. It comes from realizing that your peace was never meant to depend on them. You don't heal when people finally see your worth. You heal when you start to see your own worth, even if they never do. Because the moment you stop waiting for people to act right, you take your power back. We're changing the background. We're changing it. I just need more light in life, okay? I'm trying to find light in life. Okay, where were we? People can only meet you at the depth they've met themselves. If someone isn't mindful of their own existence, they may not be capable of being mindful of your existence in their life. If someone hasn't sat with their pain, they won't know how to sit with yours. And if they don't know what love feels like on the inside, they won't know how to give it on the outside. It's your job to stay true to yourself without losing yourself in the process. That's the gift of awareness. It doesn't make you superior, it makes you compassionate. It's like you're saying, I see you, I see that you're not aware, and I choose not to lose my peace because of it. When you're mindful of who you're being, you can love people without losing yourself to them. You can understand someone else's pain. Hey! You can understand someone else's pain without making it your responsibility to fix it, because it's not your responsibility. That's what being mindful does. It frees you. And when you keep showing up with love without trying to fix or prove anything, you start to attract people who speak the same emotional language. People who have the ability to meet you where you are because they've done the work on themselves first. Awareness doesn't make you emotionless. It makes you emotionally intelligent. You still feel every emotion just as deeply, but you no longer let those emotions control your actions. You allow yourself the space to acknowledge what you're feeling and the time to communicate those emotions with clarity and care and kindness, to offer yourself safety. And then from that place, to offer safety to the other person. When you're practicing awareness and when you're practicing mindfulness in your life, in literally everything that you do, it is a blessing to be able to be the guardian that you needed, to be able to be the leader that you needed, and to parent your inner child and literally just reprogram your entire nervous system. It is a blessing to be able to do that. It is a blessing to be that aware of who you're being. You deserve it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Okay, you know you can just drop, right? Why did you do that? That made no sense. Oh my god, that's a lot of sun. Oh, that's a lot of sun. Wow, it's blinding me. Like my body would go shit. Hi. Someone's there. Someone saw me. Hi! Oh my gosh, look who it is. If someone, you can see my cat. She's climbing that thing. Hey! Don't go far.